Hello again from my front porch. You may be able to tell from my voice that I'm still a bit stuffed up. I've talked about that before, and I can't seem to shake this. I mean, my hearing is even a little bit off because my ears are. I mean, they'll open up, but then they stay plugged, and a lot of times it's like when you fly on the plane, and there's a point where because the pressure changes, you feel your ears kind of close, but then they'll pop back open. It kind of feels like the closed part, but they won't pop back open. Well, this one is, but this one isn't. And I know that it's not anything to do with the flying at this point. It's to do with the congestion, the gunk stuff that my sinuses keep generating, and I keep taking medication. I keep trying to take care of this, but I still have stuff draining into my throat, and I keep having to get. Anyway, you don't want to hear all about that. The point is that I'm still stuffed. I'm congested. It's all crammed in there. And speaking of all crammed in there, see, how's that for a segue? But really seriously, speaking of all crammed in there, my calendar is just nuts now. It's just between all the travel stuff going on, and then having to also keep track of things that are actually going on here in Des Moines that I do want to take part in, that I do want to be here for. I mean, especially I've got national anthem opportunities still that I'm definitely taking advantage of those as long as I still can. And so I just last night sang national anthem at the Iowa Cubs as I'm ashamed to say I've kind of lost track. I think it was my 16th season doing it. Might have been 15th, but I'm pretty sure it was my 16th season doing it. And it was great. I had some friends out there. And in fact, here, one of my friends shot some video of my singing the anthem. So here, I'll just insert that right here so you can see one of them.
Performed this evening by Paul Smith. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
So that was me singing the national anthem. And I was a little worried about how it was going to go because again, feeling like this, I had been trying to drink lots of fluids. I had been trying to take medications, trying to clear things up. But still, when I walked out there, I was really afraid that I was going to get something loose in my throat that was going to then mess me up being able to sing. And also, I could only half hear what was going on. It was like I had headphones on and I couldn't hear that's weird too. Don't do that. But it's like I had headphones on and I couldn't quite hear what was being done. And so I didn't actually know how it sounded until I watched that video. And that's a kind of an unnerving experience. But I'm glad it sounded good. I'm glad it sounded okay. Because I was dreading for what it might sound like. Anyway. So hopefully I'm going to eventually get this kicked and stuff. But, I know that part of the reason it keeps coming up is because of all the traveling. But maybe by the time I sing the national anthem next, I'll be cleaned up and I don't have to worry about that. And that actually will be coming up on July 11th. I'll be singing for my very first time for the Des Moines Menace soccer team here in Des Moines. And they actually are going to be playing a Canadian team. And so they've asked me to do both the Canadian and the American anthems, and so that's fun. I love doing that. I've done that before, mostly for the kickboxing organization that has their annual tournaments and stuff, international tournament things here in Des Moines, and so I've done it before, and it's a lot of fun. I've made the observation. I'll be curious to see if it happens again, that when I sing the U.S. national anthem, everyone's all patriotic. Well, those are paying attention, of course, but they're all patriotic, put their hands over their heart, respectfully stand there. Sometimes they'll sing along with it, oh, say can you, they don't really sing out loud because it's a hard song to sing. It is. And so most people are not actually going to let anyone else around them hear. But you do the Canadian national anthem, "Oh Canada," and it's like a party song for Canadians. I mean, you start singing it, and they're swaying, and they're belting out, "Oh Canada, our home and native land." And it's not that one is better than the other. It's just a little interesting to observe the different scenarios. And so I'll be curious to see if that same thing happens when I do both at the Des Moines Menace. See if that works out that way. But anyway, so that'll be coming up on July 11th. So if you want to make plans to either be there or avoid being there, you can do so. And then I also have the opportunity, the tremendous honor to be singing to start one of the days of the Iowa State Fair again this year too. And so that will be coming up on August 16. It's a Friday. It's also, for those of you that like to go out to watch Bob Dorr and his well, it's now Bob Dorr and Blues Review, I think. So it used to be Bob Dorr and the Blue Band, but the Blue Band disbanded. They all retired. But so Bob Dorr still is out there every year, and so the same day that Bob Dorr and his group is performing in the evening, that's the morning that I'm starting the day doing the national anthem there at the fair. And then I'll plan to be there all day during the fair. That's the day most likely that my friend Tara and I will be out there doing our annual day of sampling the new foods of the fair and giving evaluations and all that kind of stuff. But again, you don't even have to know where I'll be singing from the roof of the administration building, which is across from the grandstand, but you don't have to be anywhere near around because they pipe it throughout the whole fairground. So if you're on the fairgrounds, when the place opens up on August 16, you will hear me belting out the national anthem. And again, hopefully this is gone by then. But so anyway, so I got those coming up. That's really cool. And my travel schedule is just, it continues to be a bit insane. I was in Fort Lauderdale this last week. Next week I'll be in DC. The week after that I'll be in Denver. The week after that I'll be in Houston. The week after that is July 4th. That's the week that July 4th takes place, and then I'll actually be here. I'll be home that whole week. But then the week after that I'll be in Cincinnati, at least for part of that week. Because that's also the week then that I sing for the Des Moines Menace, so I'll be back for that, obviously. But so I'll be in Cincinnati, and the week after that looks like I'll be back in Fort Lauderdale hosting some meetings talking about developing video production for training that we're developing. Excuse me. And so yeah, my schedule continues. It's like, okay, continues to fill up. Weekends I get to be here. Weekdays on a plane and somewhere, and I'm looking forward to maybe that leveling off a bit, hopefully soon, because sure, I'm racking up frequent flyer miles and those kind of things, which is interesting, but it's it will get old after a while if that's what I have to keep doing all the time. Now, the other thing is, I'm just launching some stuff, getting some things built, and that requires a personal touch. Eventually, I'll be adding other people to the training team that I supervise, and they'll be able to assist with getting this stuff out and doing things. So that's just man, yeah. So that all being the case, you can see why I'm feeling so congested, not only here, but on my calendar too. Oh, and before I let you go, I have to put a very shameless self-plug. The book, Learning While Working. I got the newest copy of the summer fall 2019 catalog from ATD, and here I'm back here at page 16 and 17, I think it is. Yep, here we go. Actually, page 17 specifically, but here's the spread. And so here's my book. Here's Learning While Working, right there, for the ATD members. But then also down here is Speak for a Living, which was co-written by my good friend Sardik Love. And we've known each other for many years, and it's kind of fun being fellow authors now. He's much more dynamic in presenting his information. I mean, of course, it's Speak for a Living. That's but it was fun running into him actually at the ATD conference I was just at, and of course, two authors run into each other out on the street, and what of course are each of us carrying? That's right, copies of the books. so we had to stop and take a selfie photo of each of us holding our books. That was I thought it was amusing. See, yeah. Anyway, all right. I've rambled on long enough, but I kind of feel a little obligated to, because I'm not doing as many of these now. I thought that what I need to start doing is I need to start doing these from each of the cities that I'm in, and finding a way to do that, or some place to do that there that kind of helps capture what it is, the feel of those cities. And so maybe I'll start doing that, because I didn't do it in Fort Lauderdale, well, I haven't done it in any of the cities I've been at, but I didn't do it in Fort Lauderdale where I was just at. But as I was just sharing before, I'm going to be back in Fort Lauderdale middle of July as I'm cycling through these, and so good a time as any for me to start now. This trip coming up, so I'm going to try to do one from DC. Now, I've done them from DC before when I've been out for conferences and things, and so that won't be that amazing. But I will try to start doing at least one episode each week that I'm in a city somewhere, so that I can spotlight something about that city. What I really miss doing, though, is talking to my talking to my musical friends here and interviewing them and doing more of the Discover Des Moines, Iowa thing. So I need to find some ways to be doing some of that, even if it's just on weekends when I'm here. But I need to be spotlighting my talented friends and my business friends, and doing more of that too. So anyway, lots to think about. If you have suggestions, drop me a note, let me know. I'd love to hear from you about it. And I'm still working on getting the video backlog put in place, so the official channel actually has some new stuff on it. But it'll get there. Anyway, with that, shut up, Paul. Let him go. I'll see y'all next time from my front porch.